Hi, everybody. This is Diana Palm, and today I want to talk to you about the 3 ways that surviving a loved one can actually motivate you in a positive way. I've been through lots of love and loss, and that's why I specialize in really helping people to learn their life lessons, clear their soul contracts, communicate with their loved ones on the other side, heal their heart, and find new purpose for moving forward. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today was the way that surviving a loved one who passes can actually motivate you to move forward in a positive way. Now, I don't take this topic lightly, as none of my clients do either. I know what it's like to lose somebody very, very close to you and to kind of get lost in the aftermath of all the grief and all the busyness that it actually requires when you're unwinding someone's life, distributing property, selling things, taking care of inheritance, and all the legal mumbo jumbo and all the hardship that follows for the surviving family and loved ones of the one that passed. But in this video, we're going to just really focus on the spiritual energy, the gain that you can actually learn from the timing of your loved one's passing. Believe it or not, your loved one chose the time that they passed. No matter how the death occurred, we all have windows of opportunity to go home to the other side, to go home to heaven. And we call that death doors. We come in, every single one of you comes in with multiple options to leave, different death scenarios, different timings, and the one that we choose often inspires those around us to move forward in a new way than the way that they've been living their life before the death. And I find that very interesting. And I personally experience this as well. All my clients experience this. Sometimes they have to have it pointed out to them because they don't realize it until we begin discussing it and they realize, wow, ever since my loved one passed, I've been having new ideas about my life. I've been having different desires to do things, or perhaps the way that they died inspired them to change their life or find a new life path, a new cause, something to speak to the public about, changing laws, writing books, and things that can really move the masses forward. And so sometimes those types of survivors have a larger calling, but it is motivated by the death, motivated by the loss of their loved ones. And believe it or not, this is part of your soul contract. So if you experience this, this is one of the ways your loved one has motivated you. This was agreed to before even coming together in the physical realm. Now, the 3 ways that I want to talk to you about is when a loved one close to you dies. Many of the survivors going through the grief process, they can get stuck in grief and the darkness, the loneliness, the sadness, the despondency, and even wondering, what is their life going to be like without this person? Sometimes they can get stuck there. But you'll always see a few people connected to the one that died that suddenly feels like they've received a blessing from the experience, from moving through the grief process and the grief healing process. And they will suddenly come up with this exuberant feeling about life, like life is short, live it. And yes, this can tip a little bit far the other way. You don't want to be doing a lot of risky behavior, but it does allow you to kind of shake up your world and loosen the stronghold that normal tradition has on the way that you've been living. So let's just say, for instance, you're a 9 to 5er and you lose somebody very, very close to you, and you suddenly realize, this is not the way I want to spend my time. I know my days are numbered, or my years are numbered. My life force is limited in a certain way on this plane. You may want to use that time that you have more vibrantly, to live more adventurously, to live with more zest, more love, more excitement, more inspiration. And you may feel like you want to quit your 9 to 5, start your own job, retire early, travel around the country, or just love like there's no tomorrow. whatever it is, this is part of the blessing that survivors can receive after moving through the grief process when they lose a loved one. Now, if you're feeling that way, I totally get it. So many times we often feel guilty about doing this. We feel guilty in the face of everyone else suffering when we've chosen to live big and live bold. I want to encourage you to continue doing it. It is you moving forward in this way, living your life to the fullest and not being afraid to change that can actually inspire anybody else who wants to connect in with that energy and that mindset. And it allows them to see that it's possible so that they can make those choices for themselves if they want to. So if you're doing that, thank you for doing that. That is how we move things forward. That is how we move through grief. We do get to the other side. We do plan to get to the other side of the grief process. It does not mean you have to stay sad forever. In fact, one of the best ways when you are living life to the fullest as part of a survivor of grief is that you're really um, maybe living to honor the one that left. With every breath that you breathe, you give honor to your loved one who is no longer here. So you don't have to stay sullen. You don't have to grieve for many years. You don't have to stay sad because the rest of your family is sad. If someone's death has inspired you to live life to the fullest, then you have really integrated the blessing of their life force, of their life energy, of what that life meant to you. And you've taken the best of it and decided to uh, honor them by your expression of living life to the fullest. And what more beautiful thing is that? So, if you have recently lost somebody and you're having a hard time getting there, just start looking at your daily decisions and thinking to yourself, well, if this was my last day on earth, how could I make this even more special? How can I show up for myself in a way that lights me up? I mean, this could be anything small to big. This could be having your favorite dessert, calling somebody that you wish to talk to, apologizing to somebody you want to apologize to, taking that trip, having an adventure. If you need to change your job because that's not quite doing it for you and you're feeling confined, take the risk. If you need to change homes, if you need to sell stuff, don't be afraid to get back in the flow of life and live life to the fullest. Now, the second way that we are motivated by surviving the loss of a loved one is by finding a new life purpose. Now, we talked about this a little bit. Sometimes when somebody dies in a certain scenario, we resonate very deeply with the cause. So, for instance, if you have a loved one that died with a gun, you may feel like that is something you want to get involved in with more gun control or with laws surrounding that. Now that's just one example, and I'm on neither side of the fence with that. I don't have an opinion either way for you on that. That's your own personal decision. I'm just saying that when somebody dies in a certain manner, many times the loved ones that survive them find a reason in their death to continue educating the public about that situation. So there are many different ways that this can play out. So finding your new path might be something more simple. For me, when I had two loved ones pass very close together, I decided to change my career. And that's how it showed up in my life. I was always a healer. I was always a medium. I've been working with you guys. I've been working with the public for over 30 years. But at the time, that part of my job was very small, and I had a different business, a home staging company. And while I was teaching classes in front of a whole classroom full of students, they were asking me about living my purpose and my passion. And I suddenly realized and confessed to the entire classroom, no, home staging is wonderful. I love it, but this is not my passion. And I blatantly told them, my passion is helping people heal. helping them connect to their loved ones on the other side, helping them heal their hearts, and helping them move to their next level of life and creating that new life purpose, that new life path. So as I said it, I realized, well, the gig is up. I guess I better change what I'm doing for a living, quit my job, and really just dive in full time to my healing business. And that's what I did. So you may have those pivots where you suddenly realize that whatever you've been doing in your life is not truly your calling. It may have provided some stability for you. It may have hit 5 out of 10 boxes, but it may not have been completely fulfilling to your soul because you came here to do something specific. You came here to do whatever lights you up, whatever you feel called to do. That's your unique energy imprint on this lifetime. And if anything is holding you from it when you're surviving the death of a loved one, that might be a recalibration to what is truly important for you. And you may feel really called to get back in alignment to really, really embrace and integrate that into your daily life. So if you're suddenly changing jobs or careers, understand that this motivation comes from the surviving of your loved one who passed. And that's a beautiful blessing to get you into your next level life, back into your passion and purpose, and really what your soul came here to do. Oftentimes, it takes a loss to shake us out of the safety and security paradigm that we all buy into. So, that's another way that you can get motivated by surviving the loss of a loved one. And the third way is just finding deeper meaning in your life. And this, again, this can be very, very simple. This may be moving through life, just noticing, wow, I've slowed down and I've been in a slower space because of the loss of my loved one. Maybe you have time off work. Maybe you're isolated a little bit more. Maybe you're allowing yourself to grieve and you're not so busy. During these times, you're going to notice that there's meaning and beauty all around you. And it's sometimes when you're so sad and when you're grieving and you're going through that internal process of healing that you begin to notice like all this wonder around you. And I'm talking from anything, numbers, signs, butterflies, dragonflies, strange animals showing up in your yard that you've never seen, getting a phone call from a friend you haven't heard from in many, many years, and they don't even know what's going on in your life. There's so many different ways that you can literally move through your day just in awe and in wonder and finding the deeper meaning, which sometimes is very, very significant and sometimes so simple. But all it really means is kind of connecting to the energy of creator or God or source energy in all things, including yourself, including others, all the animals, all the things in your environment, and really recognizing that everything works together. It really, really does. Now, when I get people moving into that phase, I kind of refer to that as the spirit visit phase, because when you're in the mindset of looking for more meaning and wonder in your daily life, you will be highly attuned to the spirit world. And this is when your loved ones can make contact with you, send you dream visits, leave you signs and symbols, drop some pennies from heaven, all kinds of things to let you know that, yes, they are around you. So, this is one of the blessings and gifts that you can give to yourself by beginning to adapt to the presence of mind, into the feeling of wonder, and allowing yourself to be open to a deeper meaning. And it's not like hard work. It's not like homework. You don't have to sit there and scratch your head and try to think of something and formulate a big plan. It's not about that. It's the opposite. It's more like chilling out, sitting in nature, slowing down your pace, tuning in with what's around you. A simple nature walk will do that. Sitting by a body of water will do that. Taking a sea salt bath in your home will do that. Anything you do that just provides calm and clarity, especially if you can be outside in nature, will start to bring in the energy for you where you can really tap into your loved one's energy in heaven and recognize all the signs and symbols that they send you. And that is a truly beautiful, magnificent way to find deeper meaning in your life. Because at this point, you realize your loved one that passed never really left you. They're right with you. They can still connect with you. They watch over you. They're aware of what is going on in your life. And they want to see you come through the grief healing process. They want to see you get to the point where you're motivated to live your happiest, most passionate, love filled life. So, those are my three ways that a loved one's death can motivate a surviving family member or friend. I hope you enjoyed that and you got some takeaways from that. I'm going to be making more videos on this content because I've been helping people reclaim their lives and heal their hearts and move on and live a beautiful, meaningful, happy life, even after the loss of a loved one. That's one of the things I do. So if you're here on my channel, please check out all my playlists. I've been making videos for a long time, finding different ways to reach you, different ways to show up in service, and bringing the best education from the spirit world into your living room. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like down below, subscribe, and share it with your friends. If you'd like more information about any of my services, go to my website at www.dianapalm.com. I also have a new book that's out. It's called Death and the Afterlife, which will actually teach you what some of the signs are from the afterlife and guide you in how you can gain spirit contact with your loved one in heaven. I've got great, easy to follow procedures in there that you can try to do at home. Many of my clients and students have had great success with that. And I just love to share all that information with you. So I'll have the link below this video. In fact, all my links will be below this video. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And also, if you are surviving the loss of a loved one, please be gentle with yourself. Take your time to heal. Just know that you aren't meant to stay in the darkness forever. Okay. So take your time, but actively seek things that soothe your soul, that nurture your spirit, and help you move forward. All right, everyone. Love you. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.